What's up everybody? How you doing? Welcome back to Karpo Gaming and another Cyberpunk 2077 video. Well, the big update is here. Update 2.0. And with it comes Revamp Police. Amazing new vehicles, weapons, and new relic systems and more. Today, I'm going to go through the full patch notes for you. So let's go. Once again, thanks for watching everybody. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started. We have a brand new update that changes the way Cyberpunk will be forever. Let's start off with the new vehicle combat systems inside of Cyberpunk 2077. The new police system, the MCPD, will now chase you when you commit a crime, whether on foot or in the vehicle. The types of units in pursuit and their behavior will depend on your NCPD wanted level, similar to how it works in, Grand Theft Auto, which is pretty cool. Now, these chases can include various NCPD vehicles, roadblocks, and max stacks, swooping in with AVs the higher level that you get. The NCPD will now be present in the world, actively patrolling the streets of Night City, and officers working at crime scenes will now also engage in pursuits. You can now also hear the NCPD radio chatter through the radio, and it's possible to quick hack the officer as well. Next up, we have a vehicle combat. They've added the option to engage combat while driving a vehicle for either first person or third person perspective. While driving, you can also use pistols, submachine guns, health items. Some vehicles come equipped with mounted weapons, and melee combat is possible on motorcycles. Vehicle tires can be slashed or shot, and introduce new perk system that can unlock a variety of vehicle related abilities such as quick hacking vehicles, increasing collision damage, boosting vehicle weaponry, allowing the use of Sandovisted and Karazovic cyberware, and the ability to exit moving vehicles quickly and stylishly. That's nice. Vehicles vary in durability, and vehicles equipped with Crystal Dome technology receive additional protection. You can now encounter AI driven and randomized chases between different factions in a given district. Next up, we have combat AI enhancements. They've made numerous improvements to enemy AI, including various enhancements to enemy net running AI, improved NPC reaction to grenade and their use of grenades, improved NPC reaction time when flanked, faster detection by enemies when you're walking or sprinting. Enemies equipped with Sandovisted and cyberware will now activated to counter a player who uses their own. Enemies that don't hear a silenced weapon but do notice the bullet impact will now properly investigate the source of the gunshot. And they made improvements for scenarios where a group of NPCs can join another group in combat against you. Next up, we have Netrunner changes. They added perks to expand net running capabilities. For example, a new overclock mode allows you to upload quick hacks by consuming health if you have insufficient RAM. You can also acquire the ability to queue multiple quick hacks on a single enemy, rebalance RAM costs, and rebalance damage and upload time. Change the effect of some quick hacks, and remove the option to use breach protocol on enemies. Next up, we have other. Health items and grenades now have a limited number of charges that recharge over time after being used. Stamina is no longer drained outside of combat for actions like sprinting, sliding, and jumping. Stamina is drained when firing ranged weapon or attacking with melee weapons. Stamina cost varies by weapon. Improve the aim assist feature, rebalance the base game's main boss fights, and introduce armor penetration for the base game's main bosses, and remove the one-hit kill protection from civilians. Next up, we have perks and skills. A complete perk tree overhaul. These now contain fewer perks, but impact gameplay in more meaningful ways. Progression in a given perk tree will allow you to unlock special abilities such as overclock mode for net runners, bolt shots for tech weapons, the adrenaline rush ability for body focused character builds, and so on. Because we introduced extensive changes to the perk system, your spent perk points on existing playthroughs have been refunded. You can also choose to reset your attributes once. Feel free to redistribute these perk and attribute points to suit your preferred playstyle before you continue playing. We merged the previous skills into 5 new ones: Headhunter, Net Running, Shinobi, Silo, and Engineer. These are not restricted by their corresponding attributes level. On existing playthroughs, your progression on old skills have been transferred to their new counterparts. Skills unlock new passive buffs every 5 levels and can be leveled up to a max of 60. remove the option to reset all perks at once. Instead, it is now possible to refund each perk individually for free. They also introduced new kinds of progressive shards, attribute shards, carrying capacity shards, and cyberware capacity shards. Next up, we have cyberware. Armor is now provided primary by cyberware. As a result, clothing purpose is now cosmetic. Clothing items no longer have mod slots, and only some items provide bonuses. The number of cyberware implants your body can handle is now determined by your cyberware capacity. Cyberware implants are now attuned to specific attributes. The higher the attribute, the stronger the stat bonus. You can now upgrade cyberware on the Ripper Doc screen. Some cyberware slots can now be unlocked by acquiring specific perks. Added multiple new kinds of cyberware. Visiting Ripper Docs is now more immersive. When getting cyberware installed, you sit on the operating chair and experience different animations depending on the type of implant. Added a side quest introduced to the new cyberware system for players. Load and odor save on the 2.0 update. Next up, we have weapon changes. They changed the unique effect of some iconic weapons to better reflect their distinctive features. The first equip animation can now be triggered at any time. PC, hold B or double tap Alt while the weapon is holstered. PlayStation, double tap triangle when the weapon is holstered. And Xbox, double tap Y while the weapon is holstered. They added smoke grenades and added new melee weapon finishers, and you can now find a thermal katana in the game. Added a new weapon mods and reworked some existing ones. Once installed a new weapon, mods are irreplaceable. All obsolete weapon mods will be removed from the game. In their place, you will find new random weapon mods in your backpack. The quality of any mods added this way depends on your level. They removed the silencer slot from revolvers, removed the scope slot from light machine guns, and implemented a new way to craft weapon mods. To craft a mod, you must first have 2 mods of lower quality, and expanded the stash wall in V's apartment to display all of the iconic weapons from the base game. Next up, we have vehicles. That's right, we got some changes coming, and it's going to be nice in traffic. NPC vehicles can now switch lanes to avoid obstacles. Pedestrians will now try to avoid running into moving vehicles. NPC drivers are now better to avoiding you on foot. Improved braking, acceleration, and suspension of cars in traffic. Some NPCs now might react aggressively when you hijack their vehicle. Various improvement to traffic density depending on the time of day and night, resulting in more realistic traffic behavior. And driving with a quest-related NPC in your vehicle no longer disable traffic in the occupied lane, resulting in a feeling of a busier city. Under other, fixtures will no longer text you about vehicles up for sale. You now purchase vehicles via the Auto Fixture net page on V's computer, or by using terminals located in gas stations and repair shops throughout Night City. To find these, enable the new Auto Fix filter on the world map. Vehicles are sorted by manufacturer. The vehicles equipped with built-in weaponry have photos marked with a special icon. As you earn more street credit, you will unlock more vehicles for purchase. Added new user settings to help configure vehicle cameras and controls. You can now choose between 3 different third-person camera distances when you're driving a vehicle. It added a new driving category and driving manual to the database. They also implemented various changes and tweaked the vehicle performances and handling. New speeds sensitive steering applies to most vehicles. The max turn speed and radius adapts to different vehicle speeds better than before. All engines have torque curves now, which reflect the engine's character and any power modifiers like supercharger, turbo, hydro, etc. Some adjustments and balancing have been made to vehicle acceleration and top speeds. Conducted at full pass on adjustments to braking force. For slower vehicles, it has been dramatically increased, and all stopping distances were measured and adjusted as necessary. All vehicles react to rough terrain and impacts with curbs, meridians, also, etc. Vehicles feel heavier now, as we have improved how we apply gravity as the suspension moves. Many vehicles were fully retuned, or their tuning was heavily revised, and multiple other small improvements. Under balance and economy NPCs, all NPCs now scale to your level. Enemy difficulty is no longer dependent on what area of Night City you're in, and enemies will have different tiers depending on the faction they belong to. Some NPCs archetypes will feature low, medium, or high armor. All resistances for regular NPCs have been removed. Rebalance game difficulty to increase the challenge at higher difficulties. And weapons can now scale damage based on their tier, and the damage of smart weapons have been lowered with but they now benefit from dedicated perks. We also have loot. Loot now changes scale to your level. They remove excessive findable loot in the game, such as loot that distracts from scenes in quest locations, and NPCs no longer drop clothing. Crafting and upgrading. Crafting and upgrading now require only one type of component instead of multiple types. Replace all rarity levels, common, uncommon, rare, epic, and legendary, with tiers from 1 to 5++. And apart from cyberware, now only iconic weapons can be upgraded. They gain a higher tier with each upgrade. And we have changes to vendors. You can now access the wardrobe through your clothing vendor. Vendor stocks scale with your level, expanded as you reach a new tier. Updated vendor stocks so that each has more distinctive theme and specialization. Vendors no longer sell quick hack and crafting components, and adjusts the price of weapons, cyberware, apartments, and clothing, and more. In audio, we have a new radio station. 89.7 Growl FM features songs created by your community. The DJ Ash is voiced by Sasha Gray. Inputs 99.9 features a completely new set of songs remixed by none other than Idris Elba. And 107.5 Darkstar is a new station for electronic music. Next up, we have a UI. The Quest Journal has a new, cleaner look. Jobs are located in a separate tab depending on the type, and the distance of each quest marker is now displayed in the journal. Added the option to untrack a quest in the journal, overhaul the phone UI to be more intuitive, revamp perk and cyberware menus, simplify item tooltips, and the most important stats are now represented by bars to make comparisons easier. The minimap will now zoom out dramatically depending on your speed. Updated the minimap to better serve the situation around you, and vision cones will not be visible unless any given NPC reacts to your action or engage in combat. They improve D-pad navigations in the menus, and you can now change the HUD save zones. This option is available in the settings in your interface, and multiple UI fixes for wide screens. You can now preview clothing and weapons not only at vendors but also in your inventory, and the indicator that shows the status of active cyberwares are now displayed on your HUD. Next up, we have quest fixes. Beat on the Glen fixed the issue where it wasn't possible to draw fists when the fight started. Blistering Love fixed the issue where the park car despawned after talking to Rogue in front of the Afterlife. Cyber Psycho Sighting Bloody Ritual fixed the issue where the Zarian blood could get stuck underground after defeating her. Forward to Death, the forces defending the gate of the construction site now properly attacks V. Gig Serious Side Effects fixed the issue where it wasn't possible to deposit the beta acid at the drop point. I Fought the Law fixed the issue where it was possible to get stuck in the Red Queen's race after completing the quest. Queen of the Highway fixed the issue where it wasn't possible to complete the Talk to Pan Am objective on older save. Spellbound, it is now possible to steal the data from R3 N's computer if you don't have the cyber deck. And We Gotta Live Together fixed the issue where an invisible wall made it impossible to return to the camp on the Basilisk. We also have stability and improvements. Multiple fixes and improvements related to stability and optimization. Miscellaneous added trauma, drama, and arcade minigame that offer a chance to win special rewards. Added more secrets to be discovered in Night City. Added some small scenes to the game, including some conversation with Johnny Silverhand when visiting the apartment in Mega Building 8 to 10. You can now change tattoos at Rubber Docks. You can now choose between 3 control screens from controller: classic, dynamic, and alternate. Apartments will now give smaller buffs. Updated the character tab in the database to include more side characters, added new niches to the Calarium, and added Ukrainian text localization. To round things up, we have PC specific first. Updated PC system requirements. The SSD is now required to run the game. Yep, solid state drive is required. Added updated support for NVIDIA DLSS 3.5, introduced by DLSS Ray Reconstruction, a feature that improves the quality of ray tracing effects. A GeForce RTX graphics card is required. The option is available in the settings, graphics cards, and the NVIDIA DLSS section. DLSS 3.5 is only available if path tracing is turned on. To make sure DLSS ray tracing construction works correctly on your PC, updating your video game ready drivers to 537.42 at minimum. AMD SMT. Introduce a new AMD simultaneously multi-threading SMT. Switches location in settings, gameplay, and performance. It allows you to set SMT to off only physical cores, on all local cores, or auto, ensuring the game's performance is average across different locations and situations to make the game optimal. The change was implemented in cooperation with AMD and is based on tests conducted on both sides. The crowd density setting has been moved from the gameplay tab to the graphics tab. Additionally, crowd density is now tied to graphics quick presets and will change depending on the selected preset, but it can be customized independently if needed. As PC system requirements have been updated, running the game on an SSD is now a requirement also on Steam Deck. They updated the Steam Deck graphics profile for improved frame rate stability. So, no SSD, no Cyberpunk, my dude. And we also have console specific. They changed the target upscaling resolution on Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 in performance mode from dynamic 4K to dynamic 1800p for improved performance and image quality. So boom, there you have it, my dude. The huge new update 2.0 that basically makes Cyberpunk the way it was supposed to be. And it is awesome. I hope you truly enjoyed it. Links down below to the full patch notes. As always, if you're new to the channel, how you doing and welcome. And don't forget to subscribe right here at Karpo and upload a wide variety of videos ranging from updates, tips and tricks, guides and news, and a whole lot more. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Once again, thank you everybody for all your love and support. And as always, I'll be seeing y'all in the next one. Later.